to Chai Chat with Loveena. On December the 16th, 2012, on a Delhi bus, a medical student was brutally raped and eventually she died. This incident shook the heart and soul of the entire world. After that, a documentary has been made on it by Leslee Udwin called India's Daughter. This again has stirred emotions all across. It has been banned in India. Today on Chai Chat, we are going to talk about this debate, this issue, the ban and the lot. And I'm really fortunate to get a dream panel for it. I have Leslee Udwin herself, who is the director of the documentary, Mr. Kailaash Budhwaar, former senior journalist of the BBC, and Shaina NC, the national BJP spokesperson. Could I have asked for more in London? Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Leslee, my first question to you. Can I call you Leslee?
Yes, of course.
I have to take permission. Why did you think of making this documentary? What made you? Because the rapes happen across the world and brutal.
What took me to India to make this documentary was not the rape, not the horror of it. I knew, A, it was the tip of an iceberg, B, it is a global issue. And that is why I have statistics at the end of my film, which don't let any single viewer off the hook. This is a problem that every single country in the world faces.
Yes.
What was extraordinary to me and what I was extremely grateful for as a woman sitting on the other side of the world was that these ordinary men and women of India had actually gone out on a limb day after day for over a month to fight for my rights. And that is what took me there. Because you see, to me, India was leading the world by example in doing this. There's no other country in the whole world during my lifetime that has gone out and fought. It was a kind of Arab Spring for gender equality. That's what took me there.
Okay. Now, if that is what took Leslee there, Shaina, why would that be banned in India?
Well, let me say 2-3 points and really quick. Number one, nobody is opposed to exposing why rapes happen or doing any kind of documentary or research. I think the problem our government had is two. One is that if you're doing some private research, then how were you interviewing a perpetrator of crime who is a rapist and when the matter is sub judice? Second, do we really need to give such a pervert a platform, that too on national television, international exposure, to express his perverted mindset, which is something that the government feels was not in good taste or in poor light? And more importantly, I'd like to ask Leslee a question, that if we, as in an Indian journalist, came to the United Kingdom and said that we want to interview rapists who are in jail and who haven't been convicted of their crime, would we be allowed to do so and showcase it to the rest of the world?
Leslee, would we be allowed?
First of all, let me say, there are so many inaccuracies doing the rounds about this documentary and when it was shot and how it happened. The rapist who was interviewed was convicted. He was interviewed between the Sessions Court and the High Court. The matter was not sub judice when he was interviewed. And he was convicted and sentenced on the 9th of September, and the interview took place in early October. So I'm sorry, Shaina, but that's not correct.
Sorry, another question just to add to this. Nibhaya's case, the entire opposition from the government was also that we had the name of the victim exposed, and that was something which is legally incorrect.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more, and it hurts me. It really hurts me on two fronts, that the film that got leaked as a result of this ban was not the India version of the film. I have cut the India version of the film. I have sat for 48 hours round the clock at NDTV cutting the India version of the film, which has not been seen. I have also cut an international version of the film that will be seen in every other country in the world.
Okay, I'll bring in the question of the name again. But yes, Kailaash, I want you to come on the note of BBC. And why would they take the statistics off? And was it right for them to then air it the way they did?
When my daughters saw this and talked to me about why it has been banned, I told them one thing. I said, whatever effort anyone does to hide the truth, truth finally comes out. And therefore, even though there might be ban, I'm pretty sure this would be discussed in every corner. And while I'm proud of the fact that I belong to a culture where females are worshipped as mother, where they are not an icon of beauty, where we have temples dedicated to mothers. I'm ashamed of the fact what happened. I'm ashamed of the fact that there were people who were worse than animals. But I'm proud of the fact that I belong to a culture where we worship mothers, where we have temples dedicated to lady gods, and where we come and demonstrate on the road without any instigation, without anyone leading us, coming out and protesting at something which is unfair, which is cruel, which is animal-like.
In the UK, every 6 minutes, a woman is raped. So to come out and say that Delhi is the rape capital, or India has so many rapes,
who has said
is
this?
Unfair.
Sorry, who has said that Delhi is the rape?
The documentary does say
but
that Delhi is the rape capital.
Okay, let me be clear.
Yeah.
Is my voice in that documentary? Is there a narrator in this documentary? I was really, really careful, and it was part of my vision from day one that I would only have the participants in the actual story have their voice heard. Now, when you hear the phrase, Delhi is the rape capital of the world, or it's actually, this is what is making people think Delhi is the rape capital of the world, it's an NDTV news announcement. It's the actual archive news announcement of the incident on the night.
Accepted, but it does give a platform.
But anything gives a platform, and why shouldn't it give a platform? In every country in the world, there should be a platform. I sat for 2 hours yesterday with an American filmmaker who was inspired to make a film about a ghastly, heinous rape in California that has not yet been in the spotlight or had a film made about it. She's about to start that this week. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? We women are suffering the world over.
I just go back to my same question. Would an Indian journalist be allowed to interview rapists in the United Kingdom? And if so, would we be able to showcase this as some kind of a research/interview? My point is this: nobody is saying that we want to brush things below the carpet. Yes, we do want to discuss why are there these perverts, what is running in their mind. But at the same time, we as a country have the right to create a fear of law so that perpetrators sitting outside and watching and wondering, wow, we're going to be interviewed by a Leslee from BBC or somebody else, and we're going to have a platform to speak and say that we are the right. And in a male chauvinistic society like ours, where you have lawyers who have the most disgusting comments to make, why give them this platform?
Can I just say, I have heard politicians in India say far worse things, or things that are at least as bad. This is what we have to stop. Whoever says it, and you know, what was the word you used? Psychopath or pervert? Yeah, no, but when you mentioned about the rapist, pervert. Okay, anybody in my book who treats a woman as of less worth, who says, this woman I can do what I like with, I have a man right, because patriarchy tells me that I can tell her where she goes, at what time, what she wears, so that is a pervert to me.
Absolutely, but that's what we're doing. We're ostracizing people like such. We're not giving them a platform to be exposed on national television and international television.
But they have a
to
platform
say
in
what they
Parliament.
want.
They are saying ghastly things in Parliament.
No,
Is that not
okay,
a platform?
we have to cover Kailaash ji quickly and then we wind up this segment.
Yes, sure. Talking about BBC, though I retired 23 years back, but I can assure Shaina ji, there have been occasions, and in the last 45 years I remember, there were occasions when documentaries were made about Northern Ireland, about that religious conflict. And though the establishment tried to curtail and stop that, BBC didn't stop it. And the fact remains that even if BBC had stopped it, you cannot stop the sun rising. You cannot hide the truth. Whether it is shown on the film or not, truth has to come out.
But the truth, full truth. I mean, for example, if she, by her own admission, says the entire research bit in the end of comparing the world statistics of rape was taken off, I think that's not really fair, is it?
No,
to just portray India as
but it's fair to the BBC, who have the right to have their house style.
No,
You see?
but the house style can't be...
to defame our country.
But what are you talking about, defaming your country?
The permission was given for research. The permission was not given to defame our country.
The permission was given for a documentary film to be made. The permission was not given for research.
What was the reason given,
No.
Leslie, for the comparative statistics to be removed? Because that would have just added legitimacy to the fact that the film is more about women's rights than about rape in India.
Well, the film is about women's rights,
Yes.
and the film is making a difference around the world.
Yes.
BBC would have to answer for themselves, but what I am told, because I did discuss it many, many times over several weeks, you can imagine, as a director, you want your version of the film to go
Yes.
out. BBC said that on their Storyville strand, they have a particular house style. They are very sensitive to any question of editorial control coming from anywhere, or a film looking like a campaign, or like it's allied to NGOs. And their house style is no statistics. Their house style is, we tell a particular case story, and that's it. And that's their prerogative. The tragedy is that this ban actually backfired on every single possible level. And anyone who thinks that I glory in what has happened since the ban, it does not know me and is utterly wrong, because I go to bed every night with a cracked heart for several reasons. This was not the way it was meant to be.
Thank you. Please stay with us, and we'll be back in the second segment of Chai Chat discussing India's daughter.